Yo, what's up everybody? So we're back for another workout today. Today we're going to be focusing on the back. Back is an easily ignored muscle group simply because you can't see it and look cool in the mirror. However, today I'm going to take you over a few pointers on how I target the back a little bit better. As well as that, our focus is going to be on negatives. A key aspect to some exercises that I throw at people is focusing on the negative part of the movement and having a time delay for that. So today we're going to be working anywhere between 3 to 5 second negatives. What that means is basically the eccentric part of the movement, or the down part of the movement, returning to that start point. That part is now slowed down, so that 3 to 5 seconds is going to be the time delay, so you're holding that strain a little bit longer. Now the reason why this is so effective is because your muscle is actually a lot stronger at that negative part of the movement. So people can hold or bear a lot more weight in the negative than they can in that pull. Often you'll see people spotting people for that pull part of the movement and then holding a lot heavier for themselves, getting a lot more growth from weight that they can't control up but they can control down. So that's going to be what we do today. You won't need a spotter because this is a high volume workout that we're going to be hitting, so the weight will be easy enough to pull back. All of our attention is going to be on that lower, and like I said, I'll throw a few tips in there as well. So let's get into the workout. Okay, so exercise 1 here, we're going to do the close grip cable row. This is probably one of my favorite exercises. I like to start back this way just because it focuses more so on the rhomboids and lower traps. Now, a big issue that a lot of people have is sort of that shoulder rollover problem, which is finding it difficult, or reason being is that people find it difficult to lock the scapulas down and back. This exercise here, focusing right in the center of those rhomboids and that lower traps, if you lean forward a little bit, you'll be able to get all of the tension in there and actually set yourself up for a really good back workout, thanks to starting in the position that's actually going to cause that shoulder pullback and cause that scapular lockdown. So it's a good one to start up for me, get the blood pumping and get your back set up to have a good session when you start targeting things like the traps and lats and things like that. So I will focus on this one. Keep your elbows as close as possible. Like I said, keep that slight lean forward, and you're just focusing on pulling the elbows back. Your hands are just hooks for every single workout when it comes to back. If you focus on leaving your hands as hooks and pulling the elbows, that's going to get a lot better contraction in the back or in the back muscles. So focus on that. Focus on pulling the elbows back and driving the back off of itself. That's the idea in the mind, and you'll get the best pump from this. So let's get into it. So same motion as the last exercise. This is just the barbell row. I like to use the smaller plates because that way you can pull it closer to your chest. If you use the larger plates here, you'll notice that you smack your chest on the way. So just use the Pippa weights for this. Remember, warming up set first. Keep the elbows in and really close together. The elbows should be scraping alongside of the body. We're wanting to focus on those rhomboids and lower traps, still keeping that blood coming into the middle. Focus on holding it, keep that negative tension, and let's get it done. Yo, so moving into exercise 3 now, so we're just going to do the stock standard lat pull down. This one here, just the hands shoulder width apart. I like to focus on keeping all of the weight or the bar pressure on the outside 3 fingers here. You'll see that when I do the workout, sometimes I point the forefinger up. This is just to make sure that it's staying off and I'm not using that for the pressure. This helps it keep it on the lats on the outside. So now we're starting to move towards the outside of the back now. Hitting the lats, you'll see me hit it here. Keep the back nice and straight. I put a little bit of an arch in it because it helps me keep it on those lats on the outside. And we'll jump into this one now. So the wide grip straight bar pull down, that's what we'll run into next. So this one here, again, straight into a warm-up set. However, a couple of key points to focus on here. You remember, you're going wide with your hands here, so going out just outside shoulders. You want to have that same level of tension that we had for the lat pull down, so focus on pulling through the elbows, pull them back and down. Now one point that a lot don't focus on is that when you've got any movement on the cable machine, you want to focus on keeping that rope going straight through that movement. So if this is your path for the movement of the exercise, ideally this rope, you want it to go straight up and down. You don't want it to be pulling it back and it coming up or down or anything like that. Just taking that time and tension off. So keeping that as strict as possible and keeping that centered to where you move. So a lot of people tend to move around the machine, but put your body where it needs to be, which I'll show you here. And then all it is going through that range of motion, keeping it straight and strict, and you'll get the best pump or the best contraction within the muscle. Yo, into exercise 5 now, so we're going to do the dumbbell row. I like to make this a 2-part movement, and so when I get into position, I like actually having my base as low as possible so I can keep my back parallel to the ground. This is easy for me to like lock the shoulder back and actually just drive the elbow up and focus on that lat. However, for the first part of the movement, we are going to do the usual lat drive, and then at the very top, you just pause for a second and then squeeze into those scapulars and rhomboids just to get to the end of the movement, and then it's that slow negative pause down. Yo, so that's the back workout for us there, guys. 5 exercises. Remember, the key points for this is focusing on that negative part of the movement. That's where the muscle's a lot stronger, a position that a lot of people don't focus on and where a lot of growth can be created. So this whole workout was dedicated towards that, to see how you feel afterwards. I'm sure the recovery is going to need a little bit more from that. Get your protein in. Remember, high quality whey protein so that you get that saturated amino acid content. A little bit of carbs in there as well, and get that hydration back up because it's summer here in New Zealand right now, so the sweat is real. That sodium will be coming out. Put that shit back in there. Focus on using the elbows for your movements. Remember, that's probably one of the best tips of advice that I have when working out the back. Hands are just hooks, so they're literally there for grips. If you can focus on locking those shoulders back and down and pull all of that movement as though your elbows are holding the weight, you're going to get a lot better contraction with all of your back workouts for that. And then with any of those pull motions, remember, lat pull downs, focus on those 3 fingers on the outside. That there is actually going to create huge tension on the outside of the lats and start drawing them out so you can actually get that swell, get that best contraction possible and start developing those lats a little bit better. But to finish off with a tip of the day, so this one for me today, like something common that I talk about every single day with some of my clients, and that there is NEAT, or NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically put every single piece of movement that you do in the day from when you get out of bed to when you go back to bed, that's not including your organized exercise, so like your sports cardio, weight sessions and things like that. All your exercise outside of that is called your NEAT. Now your NEAT is the second biggest bracket for your total daily energy expenditure. So you've got your basal metabolic rate, your NEAT, your thermogenic effect of food, and then your exercise. Your exercise is just a very small bracket part of that, whereas your NEAT is huge. And so NEAT is often overlooked when people do their diets because it's not something that you organize. It's much like a cheat. Like everybody knows they do a big cheat meal, everybody knows they do a big workout, and you also know if you do it, if you don't do that. So if you're missing your workouts, you'll think that that's why you didn't lose weight. Often it's the NEAT that's actually going down when it comes to dieting, that's seeing your weight loss progress slow down, and that's something where you want to start looking into counting your steps or just being aware of the amount of movement that you're doing in the day. This is often a big tick in the box for a lot of people to see those plateaus actually stop, because once you get 2 to 3 weeks into a diet, you will see that NEAT start to slow down on its own. This is simply because you're actually putting a lot of pressure on your body, you're underfeeding yourself to achieve that fat loss, and so overall that activity is going to go down without you noticing. So if that is you and you're finding these plateaus are happening but you're sticking to your diet and you're sticking to your training, start putting a little bit of attention to that NEAT and actually see if that movement's slowing down, because I promise you that will be responsible for a lot more energy burnt than your actual exercise. So that's the tip for today. Hope you had a good one. If you have any questions, hit me up, slide in the DMs if you need to, and we'll be back with another video soon. Ka kite.